Welcome to another episode of DIY Speed. My name is Isaac and I'm your host, and today's episode is going to be focused on my 2004 Chevy 2500 HD Burnout truck. That's right, I bought this truck to do a burnout at the New England 900 in July. It's a Cletus McFarland Cletus and Cars event, and it's the first time I've ever done anything like this. So I'm learning all of this for the first time. I've worked on cars before, if you've watched anything on the channel, but a burnout truck, a specifically purpose-built machine for burnouts, is something completely new to me. And a little bit of the backstory for this truck, if you didn't watch the last episode, go watch that right now. I got this thing for $1,000. It's got 140,000 miles on it. It's got a 6-liter and a 4L80. It's 4-wheel drive, but it's rusted. Very rusty. Almost unsalvageably rusty. I mean, somebody could bring it back from the dead with a new frame and a new body and just use the engine, transmission, and, you know, the rear end maybe. But for what we're doing with it, this thing is perfect. So if you saw in the last video, this thing does a tremendous burnout. Check it out. And without further ado, welcome to the episode, welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get started. Let me show you what I'm up to. Brought you over to the workbench just to show you what I picked up for today's video. I have a battery cutoff switch, which is mandatory for the burnout vehicle. They don't specify where you need to put it or how far away from the front end it needs to be, so my guess is really close to the battery. And I have this pair of jumper cables, which is just going to become like a foot shorter or so. Not a big deal. I should be able to take this apart and steal some 2-gauge from it. I believe that's 2-gauge right there. So, battery cutoff switch. I spent a whole $6.99 on this. Pretty sure I found those jumper cables, so those were free. I also went ahead and picked up a box of, well, stickers, decals for the side of the truck and the hood. And that's what today's episode is going to be about. So let me show you. I got excited before I started recording anything and started doing actual work. But I've just been squaring off some edges over here, and, well, pretty straightforward stuff. I just want it to be level, be visible. This is, basically, it's just going to be the white letters once you pull it off. I've never even put a decal this large on anything before. As a matter of fact, I never put a decal on anything before. Most I've ever done is put stickers. And I happened to I just ordered some stickers that I like to drop on the floor because that's where they belong. I just got those from Rich Rules because I was watching an episode and I'm like, you know what? I'll go support that channel real quick. I'm also putting something on the hood. I'm not going to show you that yet, though. So I ended up picking up 3 decals in total. 2 of them are the name of the channel, and 1 of them is the name of the truck. The name of the truck, I think it came out really well. It's going to go up on the hood. I think that's going to look great, and you'll see that a little bit later on in this video in the big reveal, I guess we'll call it. But for now, I've got to get these stickers on the bedside put on. There's a couple other things that we're going to do in this video if we have time. But for now, let's just focus on the decals. I'm really excited to get to the part where I did this the right way and not mess them up. We'll see how much of it I show you. But it should go on pretty painlessly. I'm hoping it works out well. I got tape, so that should be all I need. And that's it. Let's get started. All right, so I had the decal removed, just flipped it off. It was only attached by magnets, so I'm able to position it, and then I put the tape down. So what I'm gonna do is just use some spray-away glass cleaner because that's basically what I have. I'm just gonna clean the paint real good and go from there. So step one, just give it a little spray. That should be plenty. And then a good wipe. Oh. I had to pick this up, it fell over, but now that I've gotten this white down, I'm going to grab the magnets again, I'm going to reposition this, and essentially, I'm going to try to peel it apart as I lay it down. So I don't know how this is going to work out, but we'll find out. Let me just start getting the magnets hooked back up here, and then I'll figure out what I'm actually doing. All right, it came out the way it's going to come out, which isn't that bad. Before I pull off this protective layer right here, I'm actually going to just try to push out as much of the remaining air pockets as I can so that these letters adhere nicely. So just give me one more minute and we'll take a look at what this looks like. That does not look that bad. That looks pretty good, actually. I'm really happy. That is, try and step back, give you the wide angle. That's the whole back of the truck there, folks. So it's kind of hard to tell. Excuse the drill in the background. There's some new fence going on the property. There's a new fence going up. But it's hard to tell the difference between rust bubble and air bubble. Gentlemen, the lines are blurred. Messed up a little bit right there. Totally. Messed up a little bit right there. And she got away from me a little bit at the end. Kind of moved down about 1/8 of an inch, 1/3 of an inch. But I like these magnets. They hold everything into place. So I'm real happy how that just worked out. All right, let me keep going. I got to do the other side, and I got to do the hood because I want to show you what that's going to look like. That's going to be sweet. All righty. Well, this side did not come out nearly as nice as the other side. Made a couple of mistakes here, but all in all, it still came out all right. Also drifted off at the end, so the D over there is a little high. Cut off a corner on the E right here. Whatever. First time. Second time now. I should be an expert by now, shouldn't I? I mean, you do something once, that's it. You're an expert now. Anyways, I'm going to move up to the hood now. I've already got the tape and whatnot done on it, so let me see if I can pull this off and not mess. This is the one that matters. Let me see if I can pull it off and not mess it up. If you've made it to this point in the video, you've made it to the point that we've all been waiting for, the big reveal. Introducing to the channel my newest Burnout truck, the 2004 Chevrolet 2500 that I've decided to name Rust Rocket. Look at that. I don't need to look at the fine details, but I think now this thing's ready to go to this, what is it called? The New England 900 and represent the channel. I went with the name Rust Rocket because this thing is going to do a great burnout and it is like 80% rust. So just a quick Google search. I couldn't find anybody else that used the name. So I'm like, oh, this seems pretty safe. Let me go ahead and name this thing Rust Rocket. I went with a color scheme of red, white, and blue. I think you guys know why. I'm very happy with the way that this turned out. And this is exciting. you're looking at it, my Burnout truck is a Burnout truck. Once you put the decals on, that's it. It's the real deal. Now, there's still a couple more things that need to happen before this thing will pass tech. It needs a battery cutoff switch, and that's about it. It'll pass tech with a battery cutoff switch. That's the only thing they require. But there's two problems left with the truck and this entry-level build. Let's call this the stage 1 build of a Burnout truck. Is it's got an open differential, which is unbecoming of a Burnout vehicle. You want to burn both wheels at the same time. And it's also got quiet exhaust, which I'd also say is not something you want in your Burnout vehicle, because we're going to be ripping her at about 6,000 RPM. We want them to hear it. We want you guys to hear it. I want to hear it. I want to feel it. So I think the exhaust will be relatively simple. I got a Sawzall for that. The battery cutoff switch I'm going to put on the fender right next to the battery to save on the wire, save on the copper. It's expensive. And the rear end, well, I've never welded a rear end, never welded a differential. Hell, I've never even taken the backing off of this thing to see it. And I've only done that a couple of times. So we'll take a look, see if the differential's in decent shape. Then we're going to cut a plate from all the videos of Dirthead Shed and Puddin's Fab Shop and all the other YouTube guys who do fabricating and welded a rear end. You just got to get a piece of metal right between the spider gears, turn it into one single unit that'll roll, and you have a Lincoln locker in the rear. All right, I'm going to take about 20 seconds to address the lift here, and it's safe or not safe to use. So I just want to start with saying this is a private shop. You cannot walk into here, bring me your car, and ask me to fix it. It doesn't work that way. These are my vehicles, my friends' vehicles. This isn't a regular shop. You can't just come in here and be a part of what's going on. So that being said, this lift, I posted a video that did very well as a short, got 250,000 plus views, of people hating on how unsafe or how unprofessional all of this has been done. So you got to understand, guys, this was installed not by me. I mean, I installed it, but the guy who did the concrete and the anchors, that wasn't me. He was a hack job, found out after. And now I'm dealing with the anchors on this side not anchoring properly into the concrete anymore. So I'm probably going to have to pull out the bolts that are holding it in and put some type of super epoxy in it, set it back down, and put it back together, and it'll be serviceable again. It is serviceable now. I got it torqued down. If you watch the video, I don't know. But yeah, it is fully torqued down and ready to be used. This truck's already been on here, so I'm not super worried about it. But don't get me wrong, guys. I'm the first person to think about my own safety because I'm the one here doing it. So I do appreciate everybody's comment and concern, but I think I've got this handled. Let's keep going. Yeah. Let's keep going.